Sir, start chesna sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Madam, start chesandi madam.
Sir, sharing event sir.
No. Ichina madam.
Sir, screen కనిపిస్తుందా sir?
కనిపిస్తుంది మేడం.
Okay sir.
ఇలియా
హలో
ఇలియా
సార్ చెప్పండి.
అది 1918 ఏదో ఫోటో చూడు బయట ఇప్పుడు ఆమె ఫోటో పేరు పెట్టుకోకుండా వాళ్ళు ఏదో పెట్టుకున్నారు చూడు 1918 9142
రిమూవ్ చేస్తా. అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి. ఎవరో 1918
వాళ్ళు నేమ్ కూడా పెట్టలా 1918 9142
రిమూవ్ చేస్తా ఉన్నాను నా అబ్బాయి మీరు.
ఓకే సార్, స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను సార్.
ఓకే మేడం, స్టార్ట్ చేయండి.
ఓకే సార్. గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ Manandalma. Our expected AGO
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Our expected AGO sir Rajendra Kumar Reddy sir garu, our convener sir Somsekar sir garu. Good afternoon, sir. Once again, good afternoon to all, ma'am. The third chapter, we know the circulatory system. Okay, ma'am. In previous class, we learned about the following topics: different blood pressure rates, definition of hypertension, types of hypertension, coagulation of blood, how the material transport within the plant, observing root hairs, root pressure. These topics also we learned in previous class, ma'am. Today, I am going to explain the following new topics: the mechanism which the water travels through the plant, transport of mineral salt, transport of manufactured food, effects excreting food material from plant, removing ring of bark. These are all we discussed in the today, ma. I'm going to explain in this slide. First, I give the definition of the transpiration. What is the transpiration? Transpiration is the loss of water, loss of water from the aerial parts of the plant, especially through the stomata of the leaves. We know the plant has a green leaves are there. Plants as a leaves are there. Leaves inside one specialized structures are there, ma. Is called as we say stomata. Stomata, it helps to respiration through the respiration process, and that means nutrition, and this transpiration also it helps to stomata. Stomata we arranged in the leaves upper the part, upper the leaves part. The leaves it has a whole like structures are there. Is called as we say the stomata. It helps to the stomata and the transpiration process also. Transpiration, that means we send the materials in through the all parts of the plant, not only food materials, water, minerals, salts, everything like that. The exchange of the gases, everything it helps to the most of the stomata is through the all process. This is the defined from the transpiration. The first of all, the transpiration is the main purpose of loss of water. Why we can loss of the water? See, I will go to next slide, ma. Shall we move to next slide? See, ma, what is the main concept of the transpiration? Transpiration means it is sending to all through the all parts of the plant. That is, we say the transpiration. Not only food. That means air, water, minerals, nutrients, anything like that. These are also transpiration through the all parts of the plant. It's called as we say the transpiration. The transpiration process which helps to the part of the stomata. The pot is stomata is in the leaves. Okay. The transpiration is the loss of water vapor from the surface of the plant. But why? Because the transpiration that time, the plants also, it forms, that means the presence of the sunlight fall on the sunrises from the plant. The plants, it has leaves also already stored in the water contents. The water, it will turn to water vapor. That means it is loss of water. ఎప్పుడైతే సూర్య కిరణాలు పత్రాల పైన లీవ్స్ పైన పడినప్పుడు లీవ్స్ లో ఉన్నటువంటి వాటర్ అంతా కూడా వాటర్ వేపర్ రూపంలో లాస్ అయిపోతుంది. దట్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ కాజ్ ఆఫ్ ద లాస్ ఆఫ్ వాటర్. దట్ ఈస్ వి సే ద ట్రాన్స్పిరేషన్. The transpiration that time, the leaves also loss of water. Why? Because the sunrises fall on the leaves, but sunrises and leaves, the leaves, it has a water molecule. That means water contents. The water we will evaporate it. Okay, ma'am. Next, water is lost through tiny openings in the leaves called stomata. Already we know the leaves has a tiny openings part, that is a small is called as we say the stomata. Stomata is the main purpose of during the summer. It helps to transpiration, nutrition, respiration. This is all. It helps the main part of the stomata. That is the whole parts. That means the leaves, it has a tiny opening parts, ma'am. That's why easily it transpiration, that means respiration, nutrition also we will easy to transport to remaining parts of the plant. Okay. As water is the lost from the stomata, more water is pulled up through the plant, and this process is called the transpiration stream. Pull means forward. The water lost from the stomata, that means the more water pulled up through the plant, and this process is called, we say that transpiration stream. Already, see in this picture, on roots, water absorbed by the roots. First, water absorbed by the roots. The water travels through the plant. After we see, the water evaporates from the leaf surfaces. But we will see presence of sunlight. In the presence of the sunlight, the water evaporates from the leaf surfaces. Why? Because the sun rises also. It that means the already the leaves, it has a water molecules, that is water contents. In that time, the transpiration that time, the sun rises also fall on the leaves, but the leaves also loss of water. The water, it will turn to water vapor. Okay, ma? Can you able to understand, ma? Shall I move to next slide?
Yes, madam.
Okay, madam.
Okay. Next, okay, ma, I will share first one video. After I will give the explanation of the what is demonstrate of the plant. Ma, kanipistunda video?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Okay, ma. See, ma, in this video, let us demonstrate a simple experiment to show that transpiration take place in plant. We will take the one potted plant, cover with a polythene bag and tie it the mouth. We will mark on the A. Just you can identify the A. Next, we will take the empty potted. We will cover with tie with plastic paper. We will give the name of the B. We note the time. 1 hour or 2 hours, 3 hours. We will note the time. After hour, we will see what is observed in this experiment. We see, ma, the potted plant is, we observe some inside of the cover, it formed two water bubbles. That means water vapor, the droplets of the water, it will form. It's called as we say the water vapor. This B, that is the potted, not in the plant, but that is anything, no changes of this in this B experiment. But A is, we will show, that means inside the cover, we will change, that means it turn to water vapor. Okay, ma, can you able to understand the video, ma?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Again, the what is the experiment by this in this what is the demonstrate in the transpiration? We will see, ma. We will what are the requirement of the operators? We'll take the potted plant, plastic bag, elastic band, blue cobalt chloride paper. Blue cobalt chloride paper will available to on the laboratories. Okay, ma. Next, what is the procedure of in this experiment? Set up operators as shown in the diagram. If we will see in this diagram, already we will take the potted plant and we will tie with one plastic bag. After we kept in the warm 3 to 4 hours, leave in a warm place for 3 to 4 hours. After the test the droplet of colorless liquid with the blue cobalt chloride paper. We know already we will take the one potted plant, ma. After we will tie the plastic paper. Inside we kept in the blue cobalt chloride paper. After some time, the 3-4 hours after, we will see what is the changes of in this experiment. The potted plant inside the cover, it will form the droplets. The droplets, we will see the water vapor. Already we kept in the blue cobalt colored paper, that is it will turn to pink color. Why? Because the fall on the sunrise from the plant, it will change. The sunrise, it fall on the plant, but the plant we covered with plastic. Inside the plastic cover, well, that means it formed to water vapor. Okay, next what is the result in this experiment? The blue cobalt chloride paper will turn pink color and inside the cover it will form two droplets. The droplets you will see the water vapor. Why? What is the main concept in this experiment? The leaves, it has a water. Where does we will come to the water in the leaves? Already the plant roots depth in the soil. Already roots absorbed water, minerals, anything like the food materials. We will send to remaining parts of the plant. The plant, that means leaves is the act from the main role of the plant. Okay, ma? Can you able to understand in this slide? Shall I move to
Yes,
next
madam.
slide? Shall I move to next slide, ma?
Okay, madam.
Okay. Okay. Another topic is a very important topic, transport of water and minerals and salt. We know one plant is there. Already we see in the surrounding so many kinds of plants are there. The plants in depth in the soil, the roots water is absorbed from surrounding soil by the root hairs. Already root has a tiny small like structures are there. Is called as we say the root hairs. The root hairs it absorbed water and mineral salt from the soil. After the root hairs, we will send to remaining parts. That means stem and other remaining parts of the plant. Okay. Next, the root hairs absorbed water, mineral salt from the soil. We will transport to up the stem by xylem vessels. Already stem inside xylem is there. The xylem vessels we will transport absorb the water and minerals. We will send the stem. The stem we will send remaining parts of the plant. Remaining what is their leaves? If remaining part of leaves is there now. We will send them. After we see, it is used in the respiration and other cellular activities also. The plants it participate to the other activity, that means nutrition, respiration, transpiration. It is the leaves also to participate. Why? Because the leaves it has a stomata. Stomata it helps to the stomata has one whole like structures are tiny opening parts arranged into leaves. It has a leaves. It has a stomata. Stomata it helps to during the activities by the transpiration, respiration, nutrition also. Okay, remaining we'll see in the lost to the surroundings by the process is called transpiration. Observed in this picture, ma. Roots, it has the root aids. Root aids you absorb from the water and minerals from the soil. After we will transport up the stem by the xylem vessels, and already we will send to remaining parts of the plant. The plant, it has a leaves. Leaves, it has a stomata. Stomata, it helps to during the so many activities. This is the that is the one that means stepwise process, ma. Okay, this is the one circulatory system, you know. Plants also one kind of living organisms. In previous classes also we learned in the living organisms, the main part is the heart is there. The heart will circulating the blood through the all parts of the body. How to working, what are that is so much of the information we get in the previous classes also. But today plants also one kind of living organism. Plants also how to get in the transport from the food materials, water, minerals through the all parts of the remaining parts of the body, how it will take. That is in this slide, I will explain this in this slide. Okay, ma, can you able to understand? Shall I move to next slide?
Okay, madam.
Okay. See, how do plants get their minerals? Already the plants take up some dissolved mineral salt by the diffusion. Already the soil, it has a water and minerals, ma. The roots also dip in the soil. The roots we absorb water and minerals, transport to remaining parts of the plant. Can you able to understand how to get in the minerals? The minerals, it has a already it has a soil, ma. Soil minerals water ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి we will absorb. Who will absorb? Roots first will absorb. ఇక్కడ roots first absorb చేసుకొని remaining parts కి transport చేస్తుంది. Okay. However, diffusion means splitting, transport. However, the diffusion will not happen if the concentration of minerals in the soil is greater inside the root. Already soil, it has a minerals and water, but the soil is most of the concentrate between the minerals and water. Roots it absorb and transport remaining parts of the plant. Okay, if the concentration of the minerals outside the root is lower than inside, then the root will take up in the mineral ions by active transport. The transport is very actively, it will participate, ma. How why? Because the roots also absorb water and minerals. We will transport to remaining parts of the plant, and every part of the plant we will communicate with. That means we will grow the plants. The plants also will show the growing levels. But this transpiration is a very important process. These minerals are essential for plants in growth. We will see the every plant, we will see very healthy condition, we will show the growing levels, but the mineral salt is a very essential factors. That means the roots also we will absorb, send to the remaining parts. But through the all we will get in the minerals and the nutrients, water levels, those are every food materials. After we will utilize them, the plants we will show the growing levels. Okay, ma, can you able to understand? Ma, shall I move to next slide?
Yes, madam.
Okay. See, transport of water and mineral salt, ma. How will we transport? Already in this previous slide also I will explain. Roots, water absorbed by roots. Roots we will travel through the plant. Remaining the leaves we absorb water, and we will fall on the sun rises, and water evaporate from the leaf surfaces. This is the one kind of processing of the transpiration. Okay. Next, water and mineral salt move up the plant mainly by transpiration, pull, and some plants by root pressure. We know inside root pressure, low and high pressures are there. But why? Because the environmental conditions we will arrangement of the low and high pressures, the water and minerals also we absorb from the soil. And you can pull. Pull means you will forward. That means you will transport. Transport to remaining parts. Okay. The transpiration pull, this pulling force is produced when water evaporates from the leaves through the stomata. The process, the transpiration, the process, that means what is the transpiration process? It depends only the part of the stomata. Why will during the transpiration, we will depend the stomata. The stomata is one specialized part of the leaves. Leaves as a tiny opening parts are there. It is called, we say the stomata. Stomata, it helps to the processing of the transpiration. Transpiration means any, we will absorb from any materials, food materials or water, minerals, salt, anything like that. But we will absorb and will transpiration of through the remaining parts. But that means the stomata is we will it helps to through the remaining parts. That means we absorb. How will absorb in the leaves? The leaves it has a stomata. The stomata it helps to absorb from the water and minerals. Okay. Next, this force is similar to someone sucking up liquid through the straw. We know I will take the one glass of water and we will keep in the straw and we will suck into the water or juice. That thing that is suck and inside will go in. But the stomata also, the water level, that means the sunrises fall on the sunrises from the plant, in their leaves. The leaves, that means the water also will convert to the water vapor. Easily, the water also evaporated. Okay, ma. Shall I move to next slide? Can you able to understand in this slide?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Okay, ma. Next, what is the transport of food manufacturing plant? It is a manufacture of the food in the plant. We see the food substances or manufactured in the green leaf through the process called photosynthesis. We know, ma, in previous classes, in 6th, 7th, 8th, all classes also we studied in the process of the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis one specialized processing of only plants, ma. Only through the plants only. Why? Because the plants only own creative food, not depend on others. Remaining living organisms, we get the food, depend on others. But the plants also, we get the food only preparing themselves only. Okay. Next, what is the main process of the photosynthesis? We know what is define the photosynthesis: presence of sunlight, receiving from the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, absorbing water mineral from the soil. This is all through the processing of the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, that time the plants are preparing food contents. Okay, ma. The food contents we will utilize the plant. After excess of the food, we will store the roots, stem, leaves. This is also remaining excess of the food we will store. Okay. The photosynthesis is food preparation, plants food preparation processing. Okay. Next, translocation is the process of the transporting food substances downwards from the leaves to all the parts plant through the phylum. Remaining all the parts is there. Remaining parts of the plant is there. But the food materials also, remaining parts also we will send this mark. Whenever, see, in this picture also we'll see, ma. Leaf, it has a glucose. That means food contents is there. We will turn to starch, storage of stored food. Green leaves also, it has a chlorophyll. Chlorophyll leaves, that means green color indicates chlorophyll. Green leaves only participate through the process of the photosynthesis. Okay. See, the leaves also how to will get food goes up to the go down. See in this, ma. Food is goes up, food goes down. This is stem, this is root, carbon dioxide and water we will receive from this, and the presence of the sunlight. This picture we will observe, ma. What is the given the information in this picture? Leaves only prepare the food contents. Why? Because the green leaves, it has a chlorophyll pigment. Green leaves also will participate through the process of the photosynthesis. Presence of sunlight, absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, water and minerals are get from the soil through the process of the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis that time plants preparing own creative food. Okay, ma, can you able to understand, ma? Shall I move to next slide?
Yes, okay, madam.
Yes, madam.
Okay, ma. See, next translocation of what is the aphids, ma? Aphids is one kind of parasites. The aphids only depend on others. We get the food, we can depend on others. Okay, ma, aphids also one kind of parasite. Depend the food contents also we get in the others. We see aphids or parasites that feed on plants. Aphids యొక్క ఆహారం ఏది? Only feed on plants. That means we fall on the plants and we suck in the food materials and we will take them, we will get the food. Okay. See, the aphids mouth parts of aphids penetrate the leaf or stem during feeding. Already we know plants are remaining stem parts are there, stem, leaves, roots. These are all parts, very essential factors of essential parts of the plant. The aphids also you fall on the plants. That means you will fall and you can suck to the food materials and we will take. That time the plants already we transport the food materials. We know already we will transport the food materials. Well, that means the parasite we will fall, but parasites we will get the food materials. The plants also affected of them. Plants ki transport ఆహార పదార్థాలు ట్రాన్స్పోర్టేషన్ జరుగుతూ ఉన్నంత వరకు ఆ ప్లాంట్ నీకు హెల్తీగా ఉంటుంది. ఎప్పుడైతే పారాసైట్ అఫిడ్ అనేది ఫాల్ అవుతుంది, దానిపైన వచ్చి కూర్చుంటుందో దాంట్లో ఉన్న ఫుడ్ మెటీరియల్స్ ఇది సక్ చేయటం వల్ల అక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, ఆ ప్లాంట్ అనేది వీక్ అయిపోతుంది. ద ప్లాంట్ విల్ వీక్. వై the plants also the fall on the aphids, but you can get in the food materials from the plant. The plant will affected. అక్కడ ప్లాంట్ ఏమేమవుతుంది, ఈ ఫుడ్ మెటీరియల్స్ అంతా ఇది సెట్ చేయడం వల్ల ప్లాంట్ కి చేరవలసిన ఆహార పదార్థాలంతా కూడా అక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, లాస్ అయిపోతుంది. దట్స్ వై ద ప్లాంట్స్ యూ కెన్ affected, not in growth. Okay ma, can able to understand in this slide? And
yes madam.
Body of the aphid is cut off, leaving behind the probix in the plant tissues also. Inside the plant also tissues are there ma. The plant tissues will already, that means get in the food materials, will send to the remaining parts. This is every part of the plant will during the some activities. But the aphids also one parasitic we will fall on the plants and we will suck to the food materials. After we will see the plant is affected. The plant is not growing level, not showing the growing levels. Okay ma, the liquid is found to the contain sucrose and amino acids. We know the suck to the aphids. Aphids will suck in the some liquid state of the food content. We will say the sucrose and amino acids. These are also food materials from the plants. Carbohydrates. Okay ma, shall I move to next slide?
Okay madam.
Okay. See, already what is the main procedure of the aphid? Aphid is one kind of parasitic animal. The parasitic is we will fall on the plants. That means inside the phylum xylem is there ma. The phylum and xylem is affected from this. Why? Because the food materials through the sucking from the aphids. Why? The suck from the aphids, the food material not transporting to the remaining parts of the plant. Anyone even fall, that means not only stem, not only leaves, not only roots, we will anything, any part of the plant, we will fall on the aphids. See, aphid uses stellate a top into the phylum. We know the first, that means inside the plant tissues are there. The plant tissues are one kind of xylem and phylum is also is there. We studied in the previous classes also. The aphid body cut from the stellate, after the stellate interacted into the phylum. Just means we suck that time, the plant also we will cut off. We will suck that time, the plant also will open in the that means open the part. అది సక్ చేసేటప్పుడు అదేం చేస్తుంది, ప్లాంట్ ని అది ఓపెన్ చేసుకుంటూ సక్ చేస్తుంది. అది లోపల సక్ చేసేటప్పుడు ద సకింగ్ దట్ టైం ద ఫైలమ్స్ ఆర్ కంటిన్యూస్ following through this talent, the plants are growing in radioactive carbon dioxide, that means which become incorporated into the carbohydrate produced by the phylum. Already we know phylum and xylem also we will have all the tissues in their plants, but the aphids also will fall in the plants. The suck that time, the food materials also not transporting to the remaining parts of the plant. ఇది సక్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఈ ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ చేయాల్సిన ఫుడ్ మెటీరియల్స్ అంతా కూడా ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ చేయనివ్వకుండా ఈ అఫెక్ట్స్ సక్ చేసుకోవడం వల్ల అక్కడ ప్లాంట్ ఎఫెక్టెడ్ అయ్యి ఆ ప్లాంట్ కి డిసీజ్ రావడం జరుగుతుంది. This is the one kind of transpiration of this. So let's move to next slide, ma. Okay, this is very important topic, ma, to show the role of phylum. That means the bark ring experiment, ma. Bark ring experiment, we will see. What is the bark ring experiment? See, ma, what is the method of the bark? Bark means the condom lopala unnatuvanti bhagani mana bark antam. Choose a healthy small branch of tree. Choose healthy small branch of tree. By using a knife, remove the complete ring of bark about 2 centimeters length. నీకు ఆ యొక్క ఒక కాండాన్ని తీసుకున్న తర్వాత దాని పైన లేయర్ తీసేసిన తర్వాత లోపల నీకు బార్క్ కనిపిస్తుంది. సీ ది వైట్ కలర్ ఇన్ బార్క్. లోపల ఉన్నటువంటి బార్క్ కనిపిస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు మన స్కిన్ లోపల తీసేసాం అనుకోండి, వీల్ కట్ ద స్కిన్, ఇన్సైడ్ నీకేముంటుంది, నీ యొక్క టిష్యూ ఉంటుంది, అంటే నీ లోపల ఉన్నటువంటి శరీర భాగం నీకు తెల్లగా కనిపిస్తుంది. Same like that, the outer layer we will remove, inside we will have bark, ma. You will see the bark. అది 2 centimeters bark నువ్వు కట్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత లీవ్ ఇట్ ఫర్ 1 month. అదేం చేయాలి, నువ్వు ఒక కాండానికి ఒక స్టెమ్ ని నువ్వు బార్క్ ఒక చోట నువ్వు ఏం చేయాలంటే రింగ్ లైక్ స్ట్రక్చర్, దట్ మీన్స్ అరౌండ్ we will cut, ma. After 1 month we will see what is observed in this. After 1 month the stem is how to what is the that means any changes are there not. We see the tissue above the ring swell up as in the one below the ring with us. That means we know the covering, that means coated from the plant. Inside the tissues or anything like that, we will transport easy to remaining parts of the plant. But we will cut from the outer layer. Inside the bark is there. The bark not in transport to safely. That means that that place the bark we will show the swelling. అది అదేమైపోతుందంటే ఉబ్బిపోతుంది. ఎందుకంటే కవర్ కోటింగ్ ఉన్నప్పుడు లోపల ఫుడ్ మెటీరియల్స్ ఈజీగా ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ అయిపోతాయి. ఎప్పుడైతే బార్క్ నువ్వు రిమూవ్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఇప్పుడు లోపల ఏమవుతుంది, ఈ ఫుడ్ మెటీరియల్ నీకు ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ చేయడానికి అక్కడ నీకు ఫ్రీగా ఉండదు. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, దాని చుట్టూ అంతా కూడా అక్కడే ఫుడ్ మెటీరియల్స్ నిల్వ ఉండడం వల్ల అక్కడ ఏమైపోతుంది అంటే నీకు మొత్తం స్వెల్లింగ్ చూపిస్తుంది. దట్ మీన్స్ వి విల్ సీ ద స్వెల్లింగ్ పార్ట్, మా. అది ఇంకా ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ చేయనప్పుడు ఫుడ్ మెటీరియల్స్ అంతా అక్కడే పోయి ఉండిపోతుంది కదా, అక్కడే పోయి ఉండిపోవడం వల్ల అక్కడ నీకు ఏం చూపిస్తుంది, వి విల్ సీ ద స్వెల్లింగ్. ఓకేమా. In this last slide, ma, in this chapter is over. See what is the main explanation of in this slide. The tissue removed together with the bark is phylum that distribute the follow organic substances from the leaves down the root. Accumulation of these substances causes swelling above the ring. The leaves of small branch do not wilt because the xylem has not been removed. So upward flow the water is not distributed. We know only the outer part we will remove, ma. Inside all the parts are there. Inside parts we will transporting of food materials, but we cut in the outer layer, the food materials or water contents also we will not transport easily. But that we will whichever, that means which part we will cut in the ring shape of the bark, that place only we will see the swelling. Why? The transport of the food materials also we will stay them in the ring bark. That means we will cut in the removed from the one ring shape, ma. This is the last slide. In this slide also we will end up the lesson, ma. The third chapter is we will end in this chapter. We will, and all of you understand, ma? Can you able to understand all of you?
Yes, madam.
Madam.
I will request to all of you, మీరందరూ కూడా 3 చాప్టర్స్ నోట్స్ కంప్లీట్ చేసి నా యొక్క వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్ కి మీరు నోట్స్ కంప్లీట్ చేసి పెట్టాలి, మా. 3 లెసన్స్ కంప్లీట్ అయ్యింది. నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ ఐ విల్ స్టార్ట్ ది 4th లెసన్, 4th చాప్టర్. ఈ 3 చాప్టర్స్ లో మీరు తప్పనిసరిగా నోట్స్ ని కంప్లీట్ చేయాలి. విల్ కంప్లీట్ ది నోట్స్. మీరు ఎవరు కూడా ప్రాపర్ గా క్లాస్ చూసి వదిలేస్తే మీకు అది రాదు. ఖచ్చితంగా మీరు నోట్స్ అనేది ప్రిపేర్ చేయాలి. ఆల్రెడీ ఐ విల్ సెండ్ త్రూ ది ఎవ్రీ క్లాస్ ఐ విల్ సెండ్ ది స్లైడ్స్ ఆల్సో. ప్రతి క్లాస్ కి నేను స్లైడ్స్ సెండ్ చేస్తూనే ఉంటాను. మీకు నోట్స్ టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ వెనక క్వశ్చన్స్ అన్నిటికీ నోట్స్ ఆ స్లైడ్స్ లోనే ఉంటుంది. జస్ట్ వి విల్ ఫాలో and we will completion of your notebooks also. Your notes will first you will complete the notes. 3 chapters notes compulsory complete చేసి మీరు నాకు వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్ లో పెట్టాలి. సత్యవేడు అండ్ కలికిరి స్టూడెంట్స్ బోత్ ఆఫ్. ఓకే మా?
Okay, madam.
Okay, madam. Any doubts are there, ma?
No doubts, madam. No doubts, madam.
Already the third lesson is the circulatory system is very important, ma. Circulatory means transporting, ma. Transporting, that means blood is one kind of material, that means food and exchange of gases. These are also in that means categorized of the circulatory. That means transportation. Transport means you will travel. అది ఆహార పదార్థాలు కావచ్చు, బ్లడ్ కావచ్చు, తర్వాత గ్యాసెస్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ కావచ్చు, ఎనీథింగ్. ఇవన్నీ కూడా నీకు ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ చేయాలంటే ఆల్ లివింగ్ ఆర్గానిజమ్స్ హౌ టు ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద బ్లడ్. We know the living organisms, it has a main part of the heart. నీకు లివింగ్ ఆర్గానిజమ్స్ అన్నింటిలో కూడా హార్ట్ అనే భాగం ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి బ్లడ్ ట్రాన్స్పోర్టేషన్ నీకు ఎలా జరుగుతుందని ద ప్రీవియస్ క్లాస్ వి లర్న్డ్. But plants also one kind of living organism. How to transportation of the plants also, that means not in blood ma. Ikkada plants lo blood undadu, but what is the minerals, water and that means other food materials, how will we will take and get, we will communicate with other parts. That is only in this class also I will explain the transpiration of the plants. Plants lo ela jarugutundi, ఆహార పదార్థాల రవాణా ఎలా జరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది, ప్లాంట్స్ నుంచి ఎక్కడ ఫస్ట్ తీసుకుంటుంది, వాట్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ పార్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్లాంట్. దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ఇన్ దిస్ క్లాస్ ఆల్సో ఐ విల్ గివ్ ద ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్. But remaining that means previous classes also all living organisms, so many organisms are different kinds of organisms are there, unicellular organisms, multicellular organisms, animal kingdom and human beings, through the how to how the sir what are the circulatory system, that is what is the transportation, ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనము ఇన్ ప్రీవియస్ క్లాస్ లో తెలుసుకున్నాం. ఎలా జరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది, రక్త సరఫరా ఎలా జరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది, అనిమల్స్ ఎలా జరుగుతుంది, యూనిసెల్యులర్ ఆర్గానిజమ్స్ ఎలా జరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది. ఇప్పుడు యూనిసెల్యులర్ ఆర్గానిజం డు నాట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ హార్ట్, బట్ దాంట్లో ఎలా జరుగుతుంది, ఇది స్పెషలైజ్డ్ పార్ట్స్ ఆర్ దేర్. ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనం రిమైనింగ్ క్లాస్ అంటే ఇంతకు ముందు క్లాసులు చదువుతాం, కానీ యూ విల్ జస్ట్ మీరు చేయాల్సిందంతా కూడా రిమైనింగ్ ది క్లాసెస్, రిమైనింగ్ ది స్లైడ్స్. Just we will take the textbook and once we will read in the, that means concentrate చేసి ఒక్కసారి నువ్వు చదివినావంటే నీకు ఖచ్చితంగా మొత్తం జరిగిన క్లాస్ అంతా కూడా విల్ అండర్స్టాండ్. ఓకే మా? we will send the notes ma, all of you don't miss it. అందరూ కూడా నోట్స్ రాసి పెట్టండి. Okay, any doubts are there ma? We will meet in the 23rd in your schools only. అంతేనా? 23rd school